Well, here with George from Griffin's Gaming, who just got second place in Edinburgh at the Treasure Cup with Green Zorro. So congratulations, George. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Played very well on the day. So what were your matchups first of all?
So the matchups were 4 Emu, 3 Ace and 1 Gold Roger. Went 7-1 overall, just losing to Emu in the finals. Mostly just standard stuff with Emu and Ace. 1 Gold Roger was kind of interesting because it was not really played against that too much and not really sure what to expect in that matchup, but managed to get through it and through to the finals. So yeah.
Oh, well done. So yeah, on to the actual deck tech.
So I'll start off with the Searchers, pretty standard, Perona and Yori. Searches majority of cards in the deck, so 8 Searchers is good for consistency, so that's a pretty standard number there. Some other cards are Kawina, so good for resting down blockers and gives you access to leader ability as well. And then Koshiro for a blocker, and it's really useful for protection. In a lot of the matchups you want to be keeping a wide as board as possible, so especially when there's opponents with removal, you want to be able to keep your characters as much as possible to be able to aggro down for the win. Going on to the main character package, we have the 4-cost Zorro, 5-cost Tashigi, 5-cost Cavendish, and the 6-cost Law. So these are the main characters and attackers that we'll be using in the deck. They all combo together quite well, especially with the new Law. The new Law will allow you to bounce any of your other characters, usually or ideally one of your lower cost searchers, to go back to hand, and then you can play any one of these other character cards depending on the situation. Majority of the time you want to combo with Tashigi to be able to rest and activate leader ability, but it also lets you create longer combos with Cavendish and Zorro, especially with their abilities to restand on. A really good card for the deck is the new Zorro, especially because it allows it to restand itself at the end of every turn. So especially in matchups where you want to try and dodge removal or having opponents swing into your characters, if you can set up Zorro with something like one of the Koshiro blockers, it means that 1, it can't be removed, and then 2, it can't be swung at either because it will be restand at the end of every turn. Next I'll move on to the 2k counters. So we've got 4 Apu, usually uses a 2k, but also has quite a good ability to rest 2 cost or less, so if your opponent is playing chump blockers, that's useful to have. Can also be used as just a 1-drop to set up a Law ability as well. Mihawk, really good combo in this deck. You can play the 4-cost Zorro off of Mihawk, which then allows you to restand the 2 Don, so essentially you will have played a Mihawk and a Zorro for 1 Don. Lets you do some sort of really nutty combos in the early game to get ahead fast, especially useful for games where you need to be going quicker so you don't get outpaced by your opponents. And then finally for the 2Ks, Tashigi. Out of the majority of other options for 2Ks, nothing really sort of stood out, so I decided to go with another option for protection, especially if you're struggling to draw the Koshiro. It just gives you another protection option to make sure your characters aren't removed. Finally, for character cards, I went for 1 9-cost Zorro. The main reason for this choice was for the Emu matchup. Having something to play on 9 Don going first is really helpful, especially in a matchup that's quite unfavoured like that. The only other real option for this slot was the 10-cost Shanks from OP13, but to be honest, in testing with that, there wasn't really anything that it specifically did. It was more of just like a good generic card. The Zorro at least had a purpose with going first versus Emu, forcing people to either deal with it, or if it did not get removed and it managed to stay, then majority of the time it would go on to win the game from there. And then the final cards are the events, so 4 of the Restand and 2 of the Dead Man's Game. Really important cards in the deck, used for finishing out the majority of the matches, and just overall just being able to have multiple utilities throughout the games as well. But yeah, that's everything for the deck profile.
Perfect, thank you very much for your time.
No worries,
Good luck in this tournament.